It's Wednesday afternoon in New York City. You know what that means. Time for some Jenga. Today, we have a big-time revenge match, others who search for redemption with the tower, and much more. The War of 54 continues from Stool Stadium right now. That one out to create our second Tittleman's Crest. We will have the two best words in Jenga. A hanging tower just 5 blocks in.
You're definitely the most professional Jenga announcer I've ever heard.
Right. And that's the Jenga! Oh, that's the Jenga! 29 blocks in the books! And that's it! Marty Moshe Jenga! Welcome to Stool Stadium, presented by High Noon Hard Seltzer. He's Jeff D'Lo. I'm Jake Marsh. Welcome to the War of 54. That's the friendly phrase we like to call Jenga here inside the Triple S. And Jeff, we have 3 amazing matchups tonight. So many storylines from top to bottom.
You can feel the air is dense and thick with tension in here. This first match is one of the best matches you could ask for in Jenga, Jake, but all 3 today, with you at home, chance to win some money, by the way, all 3 are excellent, but this, the way to start right here, with redemption for Glenny Balls. He gets a new unit partner, and Big Ev, Brandon, again, I'm telling you, what did I note earlier? When I walked in, I said, it feels warmer in here today. It's not warmer. I think it's just dense with tension. You can just feel it.
So much adrenaline. Let's see the full lineup from top to bottom. Jeff just hinted at our first match. It will be the revenge of Glenny Balls. He'll partner with the rookie and Big Ev against Brandon and Nate. And then we'll move on to $20 Chef and Vibs against a familiar duo in Rhea and Trent. We'll close things out with Liz and Roan and Tommy Smokes and KB. Jeff, we've talked a lot about this first match. How about those other 2? What stands out?
Second one, big one. Trent, Rhea, they feel like that they didn't really get beat in their first 2 matches. They just happened to be put in the wrong spot, wrong time with Jenga blocks. They're very confident they're going to have redemption. $20 Chef makes his debut. Big games and toys type guy. Like, he likes cornhole, stuff like that. I'm sure he's good at Jenga. Said he's been playing his whole life. And then the final one, whenever you throw in Roan, KB, Smokes, Liz, you're going to get some real jokesters going there, too. So you never know where that the last match is always a bit wacky, and that's very fun. But, again, it starts out with this first one. The refs involved, too. We have Spider here. If you watched last week, you know how crazy Jenga got. And I only expect even more craziness this week.
No doubt about it. And let's dive into the rules of Jenga. And Jeff, the rules, very, very important for this first match because they came into play, all of them indeed, from this first match, specifically Glenny Balls. 2-on-2 as you see, but right there, that second bullet, Jeff, one hand at a time. And if you're just joining us, Glenny Balls lost via disqualification, 2 violations last time he stepped inside this building.
We'll talk more about it, but he did violate the second time. Nate and Brandon had the chance on the second violation to either accept disqualification for them and take the win or continue the game. They said, screw that. A win's a win. Banners hang forever. They took the win. They left Glenny still very mad about it. I can't tell if he's just tan or red right now, but I know anger is down there somewhere. Who would have thought when we started Stool Streams that Jenga rules would be the most contentious thing here as opposed to cornhole? Or no one cares. Those rules are easy. Everyone just knows those rules. It's Jenga rules that make this place so insane.
A lot of talk about Glenny Balls off the top, but he does have a partner. Let's meet today's contestants. The first team featuring that duo of Glenny Balls and Big Ev. Jeff, we have 12 total contestants today. 2 rookies. Big Ev is one of them. On the other side, Brandon and Nate looking for a repeat victory.
Big Ev can move. We know that. We can see that from his TikToks. Again, younger guy. I like the younger guys in these bar-type games, these drinking-type game. Big Jenga falls in that category. Also, very competitive guy. And that's big for Glenn. Now, I'm not saying Smitty's not a competitive guy, but this gives Glenny a bit of a different edge this week in his match.
Jeff, we mentioned the disqualification from Glenny Balls. Let's rewind from 2 weeks ago. It was Nate and Brandon against Glenny Balls and Smitty. Big Ev replacing Smitty in this matchup. Let's see how that one went down. It was just crazy off the top because, remember, it was also the longest match in Stool Stream's history, 1 hour and 15 minutes, but it was Brandon who committed the violation to start.
Yeah, the first violation, which was the most egregious violation, the second most egregious violation of all time, I think, in Stool Streams, but they hung tough. Nate really hung tough, great at chiseling. We saw that. Nate has become a very stone-cold, hardcore Jenga player down here. He loves it, takes pride in it. Spider did a great job reffing that first match, by the way.
Nate 2-0 overall, one of few players who is still undefeated with more than one match in the books. Brandon pulling off some theatrics as well.
Brandon, the thing about Brandon was he buried the narrative that he was the one violating rules, that he was the bad player, as we see Glenny with his first violation. But Brandon was excellent in that last one, and unfortunately the controversy overshadowed how great he was and how great Nate was in the first one. Smitty very solid as well. Smitty kind of had the short end of the stick there, as he didn't have any violations whatsoever, and here it is, Jake. That's the moment. I don't know if Glenny knew off the bat that he was about to lose, but he knew something bad was coming down the pipeline, and then things only got uglier from there. I'm not even sure we can air how mad Glenny was.
Yeah,
it's tough to watch.
That one is in the past. Now it's time for a new chapter in this young Jenga rivalry. It is time for the War of 54 to begin. Remember, it's Glenny Balls and Big Ev versus Brandon and Nate. And the order, very important, Glenny Balls, Brandon, Big Ev, Nate. Very important for questions 1 and 2 in the Play Barstool app at home.
And you see something already happening down there. Glenny does not trust himself. He doesn't love the rules. He'll be very vocal about that. You expect that throughout. He is going to be taping one of his hands to his body. That's a bit crazy because nowhere does it say you must commit to one hand only the entire match. You can use a different hand. Brandon just called this stupid, but Glenny, a right-handed guy, he's eliminating his left hand from the competition today.
No doubt about it. And there you see Glenny Balls going the extra distance
to
ensure that he will not commit a violation today. He is the lone person to get disqualified. And now our official Spider is helping him out here, and his partner Big Ev too.
Glenny has just become an automatic loser today. No matter what, win or lose, he's going to have to rip that off. I'm already in pain watching that, Jake. Wow. No. But now he won't use that. He won't use two hands, I guess. That's the plus. I guess we can't use the left hand either. That's just a crazy move.
All right. Well, the taping is complete, and we are set to go. It is time for some Jenga. Glenny Balls will start things off with one hand. We should emphasize that because here we go. It's Glenny Balls, the 24-year-old from Malvern, New York, kicking things off on Stool Streams, presented by High Noon Hard Seltzer, our 7th edition of Stool Streams and our 4th Jenga broadcast. Glenny 0-1 overall, but looking for that redemption right now, and he finds an easy one midway down the tower on the eastern block.
Look, for the sake of the broadcast, I want this to be a great match, but Glenny knocking over the tower on the first block with one hand taped to his body would have been one of the funniest things of all time.
I actually thought I was going to.
Yeah, but he was good. It was a good initial pull.
All right, and we're going to send it down to the third member of our crew, Mr. Commenter, PFT. What is going on down there? And we love your suit, too.
Thank you very much, Jake. Thank you very much, Jeff. Great job, as always, up in the booth. I'm down here. Clearly, the storyline today is the revenge of Glenny Balls. That's right. How will he respond? It's a revenge match. Make no mistake about it. 2 things Glenny's known for. 1, booze. 2, burgers.
Oh,
That's beautiful. And today, Glenny's going to be more worried about stacking than snacking. Back to you in the booth, guys.
Thank you so much, Mr. Commenter. Jeff, we've seen the 50 burger from Coach Doug's broadcast, but now PFT has just introduced the burger to the Triple S.
Yeah, that's the classic pocket burger from PFT. I've seen him pull it out here and there. That's what makes him the best in the business. He doesn't need to take any lunch breaks, snack breaks. He just puts the burger right in his pocket, ready to go.
All business down here, Jeff.
We are one way through the cycle. Everybody has gone once. Remember, it's Glenny, Brandon, Big Ev, Nate. Glenny Balls leading off, and he finishes block number 5. We mentioned that disqualification, Jeff. He said if the roles were flipped, he would never in a million, billion, trillion, zillion years take a win via DQ.
Yeah, he said I'll give you some insight on what he maybe said there. This morning on radio, he noted he would do it if they deliberately broke the rules. If it was 2 ends, but if it was a mistake and accidental, like happened to him, he said he wouldn't do it. We've now heard that from a couple people. Big Cat has said that as well. Brandon doesn't seem to believe him.
We were on block 43.
They're lying. I don't know who they're talking to, but I believe they're lying. Glenny down there, a man of integrity, though, Jake.
No doubt about it. And we have the total statistics in from the Play Barstool app. More than 14,000 of you entered. The most popular pick was Glenny Balls to pull the losing block here, Jeff. 43% of the field believes we will see a repeat of Glenny Balls ending this game.
People, first of all, if you have played Barstool Up, you're smart to begin with. So this just shows me that these people are very smart. They're probably watching game film. They've watched the past competitions. If you've watched, you would probably pick those people. But of course, that's a high percentage, so someone may be going for something a little bit different here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Nate trying to keep his perfect record alive. He's 2-0. Overall, Big Cat, who was on a bye this week, he is 3-0, all by himself up top.
The most interesting stat you have there is that only 1.4% have 42+, but if you watch these guys last time, these are the marathon, but they're moving at a much quicker pace today, though. I will say that.
Right, and Jeff, to your point, this match, remember, 3 of them were involved 2 weeks ago. That one went 40 blocks, so not many people believing we'll see another marathon.
Crazy.
Incredible dexterity by Glenny Balls down here on the floor. He put the phone in with one hand, used the very same hand, extracted a block, placed on top, no sweat off his back. This man is an athlete.
All right.
Going bottom already.
I love it. All right, Jeff, time for your keys to the match presented by High Noon Hard Seltzer. What are you seeing here?
Well, first of all, the crowd booing Brandon Walker has eliminated any chance at a hanging tower there. Fans hate to see that. That's disappointing. But it is a good poll for Brandon. Big thing with Glenny and Big Ev, know the rules. Learn the rules. Because the rules is what eliminated Glenny. And he's already doing it. He taped himself. I will say next time the key will be don't tape yourself. That's going to hurt. Also, don't be angry balls. That's a Smitty thing. We see that in video games now and then. Angry balls typically leads to disasters. That's what happened last time. And then on the other side, I mean, definitely hope that they break the rules again. That worked out perfectly for Brandon and Nate last time. Let him off the hook because Glenny made a good poll last time and put them in a tough spot. But then it all crumbled down from there. And, of course, make balls angry balls. If you make balls angry balls, things are going to probably go your way.
Right, and we saw the highlights off the top of that match where Glenny was disqualified. But if you want to see that one in its entirety, go to our YouTube page. You'll see the full explosion, unedited version of Glenny Balls being the first ever player inside the Triple S to be DQ'd. And now the rookie, Big Ev, takes a little bit of time. But Jeff, he knows, and he admitted when we talked to him yesterday in our pregame production meeting, that he reacts well when thrown into the fire. And the lone rookie in this match, he knows what's at stake, helping his friend Glenny get revenge.
Yeah, again, very, very competitive guy. I once went to he's in Ohio State, I'm a Penn State guy. We went to a Penn State bar for a game, and Ev thrived there more than I think he would have been at an Ohio State bar. He loves being the lone wolf there. And as the rookie on the team that clearly most people think is going to lose today, what is that, 70% almost think they're going to lose today? He is loving that right now.
Yeah, 43% picking Glenny, and then right behind him, 25%, a quarter of the field, thinking Big Ev is going to pull the losing block. So a lot of faith in Brandon and Nate picking up another win here inside the Triple S.
Brandon, if people were seeing this, and I think we're going to go to the PFD, you can probably give some more insight. Brandon thought Ev actually was about to knock the tower over a second ago. I thought that was a bit of
he called a hanger.
Bold assumption.
Mr. Commenter, what's going on down there 13 blocks in?
Brandon's being a bit of a nervous Nelly. No surprise here. That's his nickname around the
I
office.
was just noticing that he called a hanger.
Now he's being nervous about being called a nervous Nelly. This is how it cascades. This is how the domino effect here. One thing I'm definitely noticing down here on the floor, though, is the coordination between Glenny and Big Ev in terms of their outfits. They've got the 2 Hawaiian shirts, but you've got the yin and the yang, the alpha and the omega, the light and the dark, symbolizing the duality of man. I think that these two showed up ready to play, but they bring 2 different skill sets to the table. Back to you in the booth, Jake and Jeff.
Thanks so much, Mr. Commenter. And Jeff, we've already given PFT Commenter his props on the Craig Sager salute on the suit. But again, we have to tip our cap to Glenny and Big Ev on the Hawaiian shirt matching.
They do. Glenny even said this morning he didn't love his Hawaiian shirt. I said it was a mucus green color. But I think they look excellent together. Very good. Pastel shorts on Ev. It's a good look.
Brandon successfully pulls block 14. And now another look at the rookie, Big Ev, the 5'11.5", 270 pound, 25-year-old from Goshen, New York. Jeff mentioned, a graduate of the Ohio State University. And Jeff, 4 weeks into Stool Streams, not many more rookies around the office. Big Ev, one of them, though.
Especially in Jenga. But the word gets around how these matches go, how long they take, how grueling they are.
Yep, there we go.
Maybe some strategies.
Now, wait, you could move mine a little bit.
There's more going on down here.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Glenny's instructing Big Ev
mine
to
did
move
fuck up.
his
Mine
Glenny's
block.
fucked it up.
Am I allowed to slide it
Yeah.
to give his a
Yep.
nudge?
You have to.
Could he place his down on the table to move that? So that allowed?
No.
No.
You can't take his
Glenny
hand.
very clearly does not know the rules.
What
of
was the
Jenga.
question?
Am I allowed to place my block on the table so I can give
No.
this a nudge?
No. No.
Yeah,
Am I allowed
I
to
didn't
use the
think so
block
on
to
that
nudge
one.
it?
Yes.
Spider, as good as it gets in the business, confirming there. No, it's the book,
Like an
backwards and forwards. The rule book, that is.
Spider has been through so much through our first 6 broadcasts, and he has not nudged a bit.
Spider has a history of being a ref at Barstool for a while, and it was very ugly off the top. Field day last year.
Spider also looking very stylish. We should point out he's got the hat on. He looks like a sign language interpreter at a Jason Mraz concert.
I mean, Glenny, you got to call Glenny out for doing this to us. Glenny put that block up.
Yeah, Glenny did.
I did. I
his
reached
teammate.
across. I fucked up. I'm aware.
Glenny did. Remember, if you put one on the outside
Steady.
and the next team puts it on the other side, you have now given your own teammate a tough read tower. We've seen this plenty of times before.
Oh my God.
Right, but remember, Jeff, not only is that
Maybe
a
try to
team
move
issue,
Brandon's
but
attack?
when you commit violations, it hurts your teammate
Shot
too. Because
clock,
remember,
right.
violation 1
There's no shot
would
clock. We
be
already
your
picked
teammate
Right.
having to
No shot
remove
clock.
the first
Shut
block
up.
you touch.
Right. Brandon touching his watch. I don't know if he
That
has
was
a
a
date or
direct.
something. Remember, all rules come from the man in the stripes now.
Right, Jeff.
Big Ev is being-
That's been a trend in our first 6
yep.
broadcasts when the contestants try to talk to the broadcasters as if we have any say.
Some people stunned
That
to
was
learn
already-
you didn't make the rules.
Hey, we got to push that in a little bit. Clean this
Come on,
up.
Spoder.
Just a little bit forward on this side, please.
Big
Spider
Ev being
telling
nice
the
and
rookie it's
delicate.
not
Glenny,
quite
maybe
good
you
enough.
should do it.
And there's our
Yeah.
sky
That
cam.
looks
Ev
good.
showing off some skills just there, PFT.
Proceed.
I wasn't positive.
What's that, Jeff?
Ev was showing off some skills
Yeah,
just there,
you know,
PFT.
he's got very delicate fingers. One thing, you notice about Big Ev right off the bat, great handshake, but smooth hands, like he's never worked a day in his life.
So back down to Nate. Mentioned 2-0, the 5'11" man from Columbia, Maryland. He said back to that disqualification on Glenny Balls, he wouldn't think it would keep Glenny Balls up at night, but we've seen Glenny Balls riled up over the last 2 weeks, far from the case.
I couldn't believe anything less. Glenny, I love Glenny. He's been thinking about it every day for the last week.
He's had 14
weeks?
days to sit on
2
it.
weeks, yeah. Jeez, time flies. Feels like yesterday, Jake. Oh, Glenny, maybe a little. PFT, I don't know if you can see. I know I don't want to bother you because that's a big sip you just took.
No, just clean out the gullet.
No, of course. You were the man down there in the grueling atmosphere. You got to take your sips there. But Glenny looks like he has a little bit of a struggle here.
Glenny is inside his own head right now. From the initial retower that ended up making it a tough shot for Ev on his second one to this pull right here, I think Glenny is making it harder than it has to be. He needs to get in rhythm. Make no mistake about it. Glenny can be an
good with
elite Jenga player. He just needs to get out of his own way first.
That's up to Nate to
Oh,
clean
that's a
that.
little garbage
Yep.
there.
Yeah, that's not them though. That was Nate and
The
Brandon.
middle block was placed by Nate,
yeah,
so he has
Yeah.
to deal with it.
Yeah, I fucked up. I've had to deal with it.
But here we go again. This goes back to
entering
what
the
we said
square.
earlier, Jake. Because Nate put it in the middle, though, that retower really won't be much of an issue. Now, if it was angled on the other side, on the edge, it could be a bit of a problem. Also, I want to know, PFT lost some of his burger out of his pocket there.
Oy.
Yeah, got a little pocket lettuce and some pocket ketchup. A warm thigh from the burger grease, but that's fine. It's a perk of the job.
We wouldn't want anything to happen to that fantastic suit.
Oh, and the thigh.
No damage.
I mean, nowhere near.
That's got to be
You want
on.
to just slide the whole thing.
Retower
Slide
there from
that
Brandon.
towards the TV more.
Not
Just a little bit of pocket grease, pocket cheese. That's fine. Save it for later.
PFT, what's the opposite of soft fingers and hands? Because that's what Brandon
It's
has.
early yet.
Brandon's got ham hocks. That's what they call it down south. He's got a couple big old ham hocks there, just sticking his fist in the pie.
Miles. Miles.
Big
Ooh,
Ev
got some
has
pocket
a
mater.
full slate to work with.
Big Ev, he's starting to feel it a little bit here. He's got a groove going. There's a pace from Glenny and Ev that you can tell they're locked in.
Jeff, we expected a lot of trash talk in this one off the top. A little bit of a mild start to this one, but we expect as the tower gets higher and higher, things will heat up.
Yeah, Glenny's had a busy day. He's had a crazy day. I think he might be a little calmed down now. But again, it's early.
Shows.
It's
Very
early.
One in the box at a time, please. Glenny, wait until Nate's out.
Now, warning from Spider. You see that taped square. The only person allowed in that square is the person whose turn it is. Glenny Balls right now trying to extract block 21. He has it out, and he only has one area to go with it on that right side. Can he place it down? He does with ease.
Great play by Glenny Balls. great play. The atmosphere down here on the floor is incredible. Glenny with the spin move, acting confident, hats backwards. This man is in the zone. Forget about the demons of last week. He's on to the next one.
Great find by Brandon there.
Brandon going with that low move once again. He's got a full slate to work with up top. Jeff, what is it about this theme of Brandon kind of pulling a trick out of Big Cat's strategy of going with the bottom half of the tower?
He does like the bottom half of the tower, but again, his move of eliminating any chance at a hanging tower, that's where the tower is hanging on one block in the bottom row. Not frowned upon as somebody trying to win. People who picked Brandon and Nate love that move, who want to or people who are up in the 39-41 range like that. People who are looking for some exciting leaning towers, things almost falling over, that's what they miss.
Yeah, 22 blocks in, this thing doesn't look like it's going down anytime soon, but that's the beauty of Jenga. You truly never know.
One thing I'm seeing down here on the ground is not a lot of communication going on between Team Brandon and Team Nate. I don't think they've spoken more than 2 words to each other this entire match. I don't know if chemistry is an issue. Something to keep an eye on because these two over here, they're talking. We're talking left and right. Brandon
Stay
also
out the box,
stepping into the box.
What is that?
You need to watch your step. Watch your step,
I'm
Brandon.
not even near the box.
You stepped
You
right
did.
through the box.
Yeah,
We have it on
Right through the
replay.
box, Brandon.
Comically
Brandon-
large feet.
Brandon is possibly the best Jenga player in the office who also cuts his own hair. Fun fact.
Here's
it is.
another look.
Oh,
Wow, foot,
my,
right foot
that's-
clearly in the box.
Oh,
That's
clear
clear
move
warning.
through.
No violations committed, but Spider's got an eye on it, and there could be
Nice.
more repercussions
Going
to come.
quite close to you right now. That one's way short.
I thought maybe there was just like a half a foot in the box.
Wow,
that was
entirety
whole
of that
body.
right foot. Big Ev has either side to work with here,
Fantastic pull.
choosing that near side, and his turn is complete to complete block 23. Jeff, here's another look at this tower. 23 blocks in. It's not really looking like it's going to come down soon, but you never know.
Just as you say that, though, as we get this great pan up of the tower, I think that was the biggest shake we've seen yet, at least in a couple turns. And what you'll notice there, like you said, Jake, is that there's nothing that looks like it's going to go too crazy, but even before that you noted that the bottom half is where Brandon was attacking, and that is slowly starting to chip away. There's not much more you can do at the bottom, and it's showing now as it just moved again with Nate. And here you go. If you watch these matches, this is what you're looking for. You're looking for the first twist of the tower. When the first part of that tower begins to twist, that is where we're going to hit the danger zone, and I think we're probably nearing that, where the poles are going to get harder and harder.
Nate going back to his chisel move, trying to create a Tittleman's Crest. Remember, a Tittleman's Crest, if you're new to the game of Jenga, is when you extract a block in the middle of a full slate. And that's what
40
we
seconds to
potentially
pick a
have here. As
block.
Spider adds the pressure as the official.
Timeout.
And they're going to
Time's
use their
up.
own timeout.
Smart.
Remember, Jeff,
Very smart.
each team gets one
forgot
timeout.
we have a
Let's send it down to hear what each team is saying in the huddle.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Let's get over here. We got a 3 here. What about those 2 right there?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right. If we got 2 right there.
Yeah.
See where I'm pointing?
I do.
No, there's no.
That 2, that 1 side.
On timeout.
We'll take it out the whole time.
I'm fine.
Jeff, we have to tip
Spider,
our
are
cap
you doing
to
times now?
Mr.
Or are you
Commentator.
just-
What great Big
40
J
second
works
on
getting
tip
as
where you
close
just
to
fucking
their
huddle
huddle
starts
as
the time.
possible.
It's dangerous, too. It's dangerous to be down
40
there in front of
seconds.
these tall people. Brandon with big feet, big shoes could have
we go.
fallen into
30
PFT at any
seconds to
moment
pick a
there.
block. All right, I want 20 seconds.
Brandon standing tall at
10
6'5"
seconds.
and a firm
You're such a
260. The
motherfucker.
tallest player we'll see here inside the Triple S today.
260.
Brandon, you gave me that number, 260.
That was a great timeout, Jake. That was a great. And you know
You
what?
need to be
No
getting
offense
that
to our
same
competitors.
time.
Very rare we say that. Usually the timeouts are
time
rather
them too.
dumb.
Maybe
That
give the
was
same time
genius.
treatment to them.
Maybe pay attention to them.
All right, so Glenny Balls once again going to the top. We've seen Brandon
Like a
favor
pussy.
down low. Glenny
This one's
Balls
legal, Spider,
continues to
That's illegal.
keep up with the theme of up top. Remember, this
That's
is
illegal.
row
Be careful.
5, or excuse me, row
It's
6.
on them there.
And
Slow
Jeff,
and steady.
remember, if you're new to Jenga, 4 rows down,
Brandon.
incomplete rows do count. This is legal.
Yeah, it's rare to see this many completed rows untouched at the top of a tower this late into the game. We're over, well over 20 at this point. This is surprising it's taken this long, and that means the bottom is not that sturdy. Seems to be doing good job though.
A little more wobbling up top, and Glenny Balls with this one out has a full slate to work with. Another turn complete, but Jeff, let's rewind back to that timeout. I think Nate said something to our official Spider before the timeout concluded.
Pause.
Yeah, he said
Can we do a little lip reading
You're a
there?
real. I'm not good at this, but I believe it's like
I am, but they
saying you're a
brought me out of the
real.
box.
God damn, I'm 10.
You're such a motherfucker. I think that's what he said. That's just first of all wildly inappropriate and disgusting to say that to someone working as hard as Spider. But also, you want to be on the side of the refs here. You want to be on the side of the ref. Very interesting move by Nate as a competitor who's been here before.
Keep that in mind.
To rattle the cage of Spider.
I never
Yeah,
saw
you
her.
heard Joe
forget.
Buck say it
Not
after
once.
Randy Moss's moon. That is a
like
disgusting act.
And there's that twisted tower, and that is a disgusting act. I want to back that up, Jake. I have to say that. But there is that first twist. And it twisted most of the tower, too. Usually the twists are halfway through. That twisted all, but it looks like 5 rows.
shaky, boy.
Right, and we are 25 blocks in. Remember, this pertains to question 2 on the play bar. Still out more than 15,000 of you who submitted. That first window of blocks,
They
Jeff,
were
it moved to
We're not
0
in
to
trouble.
30
We've done
because
this
we've seen
before.
so many long matches
It's only
that
block 25.
the odds will shift too, and this 0 to 30 range still very much in play. We haven't seen that recently.
Nate, we're in trouble.
No, we really haven't. I was surprised that only 1%
Burn.
picked 42 plus because we've been trending up every time, and you'd have to assume the more Jenga matches we play, the better people will get
All
at
right,
it.
all right.
So that's just not a lot.
Right.
60
2
seconds
weeks
to
ago
pick
when
that
Brandon
block.
and Nate took on Glenny Balls and Smitty, that one went
No.
40
Whoa.
as the block, as the
baby.
tower
You
continues
gotta poke that away,
to
Brandon.
seesaw back and forth. Brandon now all over the place with
Now
these
just
blocks
50
in turn
seconds to pick a
26.
block.
We've seen crazier tilts that have stayed up before, but that one was easily the most we've seen today. That was a huge movement of that tower.
I'm
Brandon
picking up on
has-
some body language down here on the floor. Nate almost seems to be enjoying Brandon struggling right now. I don't know what the dynamic
Erroneous.
is. He's been smiling.
Kipty's
this whole
making stuff
time.
up.
He's been laughing. I think Nate just doesn't want to lose. He just doesn't want to pick the last block.
Yeah, Nate
Please
2-0
don't lie.
overall.
Nate,
Please don't interrupt our sideline reporter.
Please don't lie to the
Oh
camera.
my God.
It continues to shift as Nate, Brandon's teammate, Jeff,
Yeah, what the
is
fuck are
causing
you
a
doing?
distraction with the sideline reporter, PFT commenter.
One thing I've also noticed, Nate is wearing some very, very tall shoes, perhaps embellishing his height as much as
Congratulate me.
2.5 inches. These things are heels, folks. These are not real shoes. I don't care what anybody says. Nate, get a pair of real shoes, buddy.
You can sense the tension, the team chemistry plummeting down between
I
Brandon
don't
and
like
Nate.
this bit.
Got a
you're
high
doing.
five denial just
You
there,
didn't high
too.
five me.
I was defending our honor.
Fifth row is
Is
also.
this row clean?
Don't let
This,
them get in
this
our
is
head.
know if that
taking
one
a
is.
turn.
One
Kipty's
below.
lying to the
I
team.
believe we were around
About
the
us.
25, 26
Spider.
area last time it took a
Spider,
turn,
this one-
too.
Is this one clean?
You can
This is
only
like
stay
block
calm
5.
so
Or this
long
one.
in Jenga.
We're good.
Is this legal?
This one or this one is clean?
The incomplete rows do count, so the 2 blocks count
Yep.
as row 1.
So that would
would be row
that
4.
would be legal.
That's row 4.
Yep.
Great
Staying at the
clarification
top of
on
the tower
that
like a bunch
big
of pussies.
A rookie knows it, making sure he knows the rules. That was one of the keys.
Right.
Know the rules.
Glenny Balls via disqualification on the loss 2 weeks ago. His partner Big Ev said he wants to bring it home for his partner to give him that revenge.
Not even thinking about the fact that he could just be 1-0.
Right?
Thinking about the fact that he wants to make sure Glenny is 1-1. Tough tower right now, though.
60 seconds to pick the block.
I smell like hamburgers.
And remember, you heard Spider say 60 seconds. Remember, there is no technical shot clock yet. That's just to eye in on a block. You don't have to finish your turn.
Correct, exactly. Cuts down on the time for picking one. You can, eventually you just have to go with
45
something, and then you
seconds
have some time
To pick that
make
block,
that move.
Big Ev.
It's got time though. 45. That's an eternity in Jenga.
These two edges.
Glenny doing a great job coaching him up.
Communication.
Nah.
30 seconds to pick a block.
How about this guy? He looks kind of loose. Nah. Go with God.
Go with God.
This tower is really
clock
starting
stop?
to
20
twist.
seconds to pick a block.
I'm just really exploring the
Pressure
tower. I
on
like
Big
it.
Ev.
There's going to be a tough spot here
10.
very soon.
He's picking,
9,
he's choosing, he's hunting, he's
8.
A Tittleman's crest.
And he might have one.
So this is the block we're taking. Yes.
7 rows
Sounds
in,
like he's picked this block.
and
I
it is
believe-
locked in.
I believe he's going
That
to be
block you
rewarded
have
for
to
his
Say he wins
patience.
the race.
That was as close to the buzzer
Beautiful.
as we've seen while someone also
Beautiful.
makes a change. Usually they keep on what they've been looking at for 20, 30 seconds. Ev made a last-second change there and found a very easy pull.
So a big-time move from Big Ev. But remember, Jeff, Brandon and Nate not on the same page. Let's take a look again at what Nate did to Brandon. There was a high five attempt here, but it was unsuccessful.
Yeah, we know Nate was looking for a little gratification there after the poll. Or excuse me, Brandon was looking for the gratification. Nate didn't immediately give it to him because Brandon felt as though Nate was distracting him. High five from Brandon was more of like a, what the hell are you doing? Nate maybe thought that was a high five. It wasn't. Brandon turned to the corner, and now he sits on a stool off screen, I think in disgust.
No, yeah, and more on that. Let's send it down to PFT, who was with Nate after that high five rejection.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Jeff. We just watched video evidence of you and Brandon have a little tete-a-tete there, maybe not on the same page as far as communication goes. Some would say just a straight-up punk move. What are your responses to that? What was going through your head at the time?
No, me and Brandon understand team chemistry better than anybody else. We don't need to talk until like block 35. This is beginner's stuff. This is Big Ev rookie stuff. We're fine.
You didn't look fine in the video, though. There was compelling video evidence.
Stop spreading your fake news.
He's calling us out on Jake News Media. I'm not so sure if that's correct. We've got the video right here. Let's take another look.
Yeah, we'll take a look one more time. PFT, you can give your thoughts as well. Go a little Pierre McGuire here. What do you think? That's a complete denial and poor chemistry, right?
That's just Brandon walking over into the corner. That's Nate standing with his hand up in the air. You know what? I hate to say it. I think we have our first GIF of the day.
Alrighty then.
Any gifts from Stool
Can
Streams.
search Stool Streams on, Jeff, I don't know the pronunciation of the website. Jiffy, Giphy?
No, I'm going to call it Giphy, but you can tell me I'm wrong. That's very fair.
So search Stool Streams. There are plenty of Jenga GIFs, GIFs, whatever you want to call it, used throughout social media platforms. We mentioned YouTube to watch these matches in their entirety. But here's Nate trying to pull out block 28. He just mentioned with PFT that he and Brandon don't really lock in until block 35. And Nate's ABG, average blocks per game, Jeff, is at 39 flat.
That's unbelievable. Remember, there was a point where we said that how many 40s would we see the rest of the year? Almost every game was reaching 40 the other day. Also, we did get a bit of a chirp, I believe, from Spider. A little razzing, I would say.
Oh, no! Oh, there was just a big miss of a high five right there. They regained their composure, but for a second, it was pretty bad.
This is one of your worst bits
stuff
ever.
down
This should be the
Of all your bits, this is one of your worst bits.
What's that? What's that? What pit? What pit, Nate?
I think Nate's getting
This is
a
legal, by the
little
way.
angry.
Fourth one down.
Remember, there is some history between the two. They are both from the DMV. PFT did beat Nate in cornhole in a clean sweep last week, so Nate could still have some beef over that.
Yeah, that is true. They are friends in and outside of the office. Will that remain after today?
60 seconds to pick that
wobbler.
block, son.
Money ball is going to the highest you can go. That is the fourth row. Remember, one block equals one row.
I don't know what Brandon just did, but he did a bit of a weird jig, like a dance.
Brandon's doing it appears to be the Mississippi River Dance is what they're calling it down here.
Money Balls
Mississippi
takes
River.
off the eastern block, and now the 5'8" 3/4 man from Long Island having some issues as the block becomes taller than him, but he completes the turn.
That
But
couldn't be
Jeff,
any more perfect going on there.
we saw that move from Brandon. What do you
Could
call
be any
this?
more perfect.
PFT, yeah, that is it, PFT. That's the Mississippi River Dance,
Yeah.
correct, yeah. The Mississippi River Dance, we've seen it a few times before. Brandon used to be a step dancer in high school before he found his love for football and other sports involving balls. But he was a big river dance, step dance guy back in Mississippi back in the day.
Right, and Brandon, when we talked to him
Nate,
in
move
his
out of the
pregame
way.
interview, he said when somebody like me gets involved, the stakes go up. It's no longer friendly. It's Brandon effing Walker, and it just means more.
Yeah, I'm actually told that
60
Brandon
seconds
was
to
going
pick
to
a block.
be
That's very quick.
in college. He was going to study Gaelic studies, but on the first day of class, he just kept giggling the entire time and couldn't make it past the introduction.
That seems about right.
Why? What's funny
Brandon
about
gives his usual like predetermined iPhone text response there in your interview. That makes just a, that's his signature basically in his email.
So we're 29 blocks in.
good.
Oh,
good.
jeez.
Brandon now jigs inside the box.
45 seconds
A
to pick
potential
that block,
Jenga
Brandon.
here would be the second shortest game ever.
Brandon, sneaky
It
athletic
was
down
26 in our debut, where Brandon actually pulled the losing block. That's the shortest game ever in the first ever match in Stool Streams. Brandon looking to extend this match now.
Time running down. When Brandon's nervous, he
Closing in on
does do
30
the
seconds to
Starksville
pick a
hop,
block.
which you did see him do just there briefly.
More twisting on the top half of the tower.
Oh no.
Brandon facing pressure. Could we have an early exit?
It is rotating down here. I can feel the breeze from this tower. I'm in the splash zone right now.
Continues to twist.
This looks like one of those
15
sunglasses
seconds.
things at Walmart or Target right now. He's just spinning them, looking at all the cheap sunglasses.
seconds.
That's not what a Jenga
No.
tower
Oh,
should
he found one on the fourth row.
Whoa! Dear God!
Brandon Walker with time not on his side. He goes the highest you can go and completes a full slate up top. How about that clutchness from BFW?
I have seen the Milky Way, I've seen the Aurora Borealis, but I've never seen anything like that last pull by Brandon Walker. Last second, clutch move, grasp it with his big ham hock, toss it up top like it was nothing at all. This is why we play.
You can just tell he had a great strategy there, PFT and Jake. He knew that if he was going to have to do an emergency pull, he may as well do it from the top tower, so he checked the middle and the bottom. Then the emergency did happen, and he yanked that one right out.
Right, and what Brandon just did, he created a hanger on that fourth row. Remember,
Yeah.
a hanger, when it's a row with one block, and those top 3 rows are illegal. Remember, 4 rows down is the
Yeah.
rule.
We have not seen many warning track hangers yet in Jenga, but that is what we have up there right now. It essentially makes it 5 rows because we do,
Right.
at least right now, because that one individual block, I mean, well, you could pull it.
And you have the
60
split bice
seconds
under it. I don't know if you
to
can
block.
pull either of those side blocks either.
Yeah, you're right. It's essentially 6 untouchable rows at this point, though some crazy people like a Billy Football may attempt that. I don't think we're going to see that from any of these guys today.
30 blocks in. This is Big Ev's
45
debut,
seconds
remember,
to
as he
pick
has
the block.
45 seconds to zone in on a block. And the options become more limited as we move on here in match 1 of Stool Stream 7. Remember, we have 2 more matches coming later today, and next
30
Thursday's
seconds.
Jenga broadcast picks are available
30
in the Play Bar Stool app. Go download it in the App Store and get in on the action. A $500 progressive jackpot on the line.
Make sure to watch on YouTube, though, first. Get some game filming.
Miracle.
Smash that like button if you're watching on YouTube, and we appreciate you watching if it's on Facebook, Twitter, or on our website as well.
I'm seeing the beginnings of some fatigue
15
starting to set in
seconds to
down here.
pick the block.
We've got Brandon collapsed in the corner after some of his elaborate dancing
say
theatrics. It's almost like the
9,
Deontay Wilder wearing
8,
himself out before he gets in the ring. We'll see how his
7,
stamina holds up.
6.
5 seconds to
my
zone in on the block.
Oh, no.
Doesn't need to pull it out. Doesn't need to pull it out.
3.
Needs to pick
Next one
one.
you touch will be it. That's it. The one you touched.
This one, right?
Yep. You
All
gotta
right,
make
he's
an
zoned
attempt
in on that
now.
right block, Jeff. And the rookie is in trouble. His teammate Glenny Ball is trying to help him out.
PFT, that row looks terrible from where we are, right? that row is not in good shape.
He's speechless right now. This is a perfect time, Jeff, to remind you at home that first window of 0 to 30, a Jenga here would be a winner for the 13% who picked 0 to 30. A pivotal point here, as 13% will win or 13% will be eliminated on this block regardless.
It always seems to come down to that one block in between. It always seems to be the case with Stool Streams.
I don't know about this one. This one seems to be a load-bearing block. There's a lot of weight coming down on that wood.
The PFT, can you confirm the way that middle block is sticking out is definitely going to be a negative for him right now?
It's not helping. It's not helping, Jeff. It's an unorthodox middle block. He's going to have to navigate that as well as at least 2 of Newton's laws of physics.
Oh, Brandon
Brandon's
Walker
going for the
just
winning
put out a
handshake.
handshake to Nate. Did they just call game before this one's over?
They just called game. Don't celebrate at home yet. It ain't over. He may have to do the old yank.
30 seconds.
That might go down
Now-
as the Nate
Oh,
Newton of Stool Stream Stadium.
it's working.
Might have it.
Or was it Leon Lett? One of those cowboy guys.
Leon left.
Leon Lett.
Who did he say?
Big Ev has some movement
It-
on that zoned in block.
I hate this.
Shut the fuck up.
What a miracle pull.
It's out! Oh my goodness!
I don't believe it.
Brandon and Nate count their chickens before they hatch. And Big Ev puts one up top. Jeff, here's another look
What
at that
a friggin'
handshake.
pull.
It may have been cut
That was
off
gorgeous.
while it happened live, but here's a clean look at it. You see in the background, Brandon and Nate shake hands. 31 blocks in, we are far from done.
I don't blame Brandon for feeling confident mid-turn. However, to go all out for a we just won handshake, craziness. One of the best pulls we've ever seen in Jenga. I have no idea how he loosened that block up. That thing was glued in as could possibly be. Great pull from Ev. didn't show any signs of weakness or nerves, and Glenny and Evan a great spot right now, Jake.
So the 0 to 30 mark, 13.08% of you, 2,056 people to be exact. Unfortunately, you are eliminated, but Jeff, remember, as always, there is a consolation prize. Explain more on that.
Yeah, well, if you go 0 for 6, you have a chance to win a Barstool gift card, so stick around.
While Brandon's teammate Nate is in the hot box right now trying to extract block 32, PFT is down the stream with Nate, who gave the too early handshake.
Brandon, walk me through your decision to go ahead and execute the handshake, almost like high stepping it to the end zone.
I'm very comfortable with that handshake.
Okay.
I still feel like we're going to win. We got the steadiest player in the world here right now. We're going to win. So it's a pre-handshake handshake.
Was the handshake meant to make yourself more confident or to take away the confidence of the other team? Because it seemed, if anything, to add a little fuel to Big Ev's
fire. It's a method of intimidation. It backfired. He's a competitive guy.
Well, Nate just took that out.
Yeah, see, I wasn't even watching this. I don't even have to watch Nate.
We'll see how that pans out for you. That could go down, though, as being a very bad look if the handshake does indeed portend a loss by Team Walker and Nate Barstool.
Thanks, PFT. And while that interview was happening, you saw Nate successfully take out block 32. So back to the top of the order in Glenny Balls.
Nate, very soft, squishy fingers there, able to chisel that block out. Worked very well. He's one of the best chiselers in the game, PFT.
He absolutely is. There's no question about it. I also think that maybe we can go back and take a look at the most epic Dudes Rock handshake of all time between Glenny Balls and Big Ev after that last block was pulled out. Because I'm telling you, I think we're all pregnant down here.
Glenny has the chuckle.
We knew Angry Balls might come out Giggle Balls now here, and that is not good either. Not good to see if you're Team Ev and Glenny.
Oh no! Giggle Balls is a winner. It's a winner.
Could the giggles come back to haunt him? Glenny Balls going to the fourth row. What a pullout by Glenny. Only has one spot to go with.
That's smooth balls down here.
Again, I can't really help but note he's doing this with one hand, and I know you could only use one hand, but most people change hands during. He has
Glenny is taking that option off the table.
Yeah, he's put himself in a horrible spot. Remember his last retower too, because of only having one hand, the angles weren't really there for him.
I'm not gonna let my bounces off a little bit.
All right, PFT mentioned another handshake as Glenny Balls cleans up the garbage on the top of that row. Here it is again. As you see Glenny and Big Ev making sure they don't reject each other.
There's a bit of oomph, fierceness with Ev as he gets the chest pound as well. When you get that Big Ev high five, when you get the Big Ev high five, you know something amazing just happened.
Big Ev's slogan went on a Gambling Cave stream, "Let's go." That was a handshake version of a "Let's go."
Big Ev's let go. If you hear the "Let's go" today, you know it's over.
Right.
Trademark Big Ev.
No one's ever said it before.
So back to Brandon. Remember, he was the one who gave off the early handshake. Now he is the one facing the pressure 33 blocks in. Funny how things change throughout the broadcast.
60 seconds.
Just relax.
You relax.
Spider looking like Brandon's son right now, standing next to him.
You've seen.
This is what they do at home. This exact setup. He dresses his son up in a referee uniform and makes him watch play board games.
45 seconds.
We've seen Tommy Walker throughout the office.
Yeah.
A couple of times. Had his birthday party on the Yak a few weeks ago. Now his father, Brandon.
Will he be disappointed in the father?
30 seconds.
The Jenga.
30 seconds.
Remember, Jeff, on Brandon's last turn, he beat the buzzer, picking that block on the fourth row. Now he's facing some more pressure.
This thing is twisting so much.
On that fourth row again.
What an aggressive way to attack the tower. But it
15
stays
seconds
up.
to pick that block.
All over the place, it's Brandon and Walker. Tower continues to twist.
He knows that
10
fourth
seconds
row he has a block. He's going to go back to it.
He got one out. Brandon Walker facing it all once again. An empty slate to work with. 34 blocks complete.
That was excellent work. Twisting the tower to loosen a block is something we've only ever seen from KB before. We saw KB one time on purpose twist the tower to loosen a block. Brandon didn't want to have to resort to that. I questioned what he was doing. Clearly, his game plan was excellent because he twisted it enough to loosen up some other blocks at the bottom of the tower, and you will see in slow motion the move pays off brilliantly as he hits the tower in as many ways as he possibly can, twisting it left and right. Again, it looks like one of those sunglass turn style things at like Target or Walmart, and it loosened up a block in the bottom fourth of the tower for what ended up being a pretty damn easy pull, Jake, which is fairly impressive considering where he was with the countdown. Oh, every moment he touched that tower, Jake, you just assumed this was the end. This was going to be the win for Ev and Glenny. He might have touched 15 blocks at any point during that thing, and finally, he knew he had the loosened block for an easy pull, and now putting all the pressure on Big Ev yet again.
You might be questioning yourself when you see Brandon pace around the tower, just fingering every single block. But there's a method to the madness. He's poking. He's testing for weaknesses. There are no wasted motions with Brandon Walker. Each movement has a purpose.
But did he expose some free blocks now?
Jeff, I was going to say, it was more impressive that Brandon did that on top of a double hanger. There was nothing to work with, no stability under it, and now he created a triple hanger.
Exactly. Now it is a triple hanger, but he did loosen up a lot of blocks. Did Ev pick up on anything? Because I noted I saw a couple that Brandon might resort back to had he not found that one at the bottom.
This one was definitely loose, yeah.
Whoa. 60 seconds to pick a block.
That was not even kind of
34 blocks in, and Jeff, going back to question 2 on the Play Barstool app, the most popular pick was the one we're in right now, the 31 to 35 range, picked by more than 6,000 people, which is 38% of the field. Still 2 blocks to work with, though, in terms of that.
And this is that block that I think people noted might be a little looser than the rest, but it's still a bit of a struggle because we are in a triple hanger right now, Jake.
Triple hanger down low that Brandon Walker created. Now Big Ev, the lone rookie in this matchup, facing the pressure, eyeing that 5th row. Saw some more tilting.
We're in the territory where we may see just a complete yank.
Glenny Balls crossing his fingers, you see on the right side of your screen. Now Big Ev has that one out. He can work with either side in terms of the retower process. Remember, the turn not complete until the retowering is complete. Glenny Balls coaching the rookie, his teammate, Big Ev. Trying that near side. Is it good enough for our official spider?
Looks good.
That's good, King.
It's clean.
Please.
We have a replay coming, so let's
Great job by Ev. Again, the one thing Brandon did that may have helped his opponents as Glenny praying to the gods there, a religious man, of course. Some Hail Marys. Brandon exposed a couple looser blocks. That was the one thing that may have helped the other side. But did Nate find any of those as well? Because now the pressure completely flips right back over. That's the beauty of Jenga. The complete joy and celebration of an all-time poll goes right back into the depths of nerves as Brandon sits on the floor. Doesn't want to listen right now.
Jeff, here we are back to that pivotal point on the Play Barstool app. The 31 to 35 range is on the hot seat here. If Nate creates a Jenga, the 38% move on.
Hey, I can imagine Hayes
just jackpot. A Nate successful pull here will knock out our most popular pick in question 2.
Yeah, and of course, like you were saying too, most people did not expect Brandon and Nate to lose. So every time they're up, we have a lot of people very nervous.
45 now.
We've seen a couple blocks that are really turned, but that one might be pretty easy.
Nate eyeing one down the middle. As you see his teammate in Brandon, nothing he can do about it as he sits on outside the square.
The countdown clock isn't totally
Just
towards the
30
end. But
seconds
like
to
he
pick a
is.
block.
Yeah, it's the spider confirms 30 seconds, but he's committed to this one.
He's got it halfway out. It's on top of that split vice. Or I should say double split vice.
20 seconds to pick that
Oh,
block
it
now.
continues to come down.
Brandon,
I
I'm
haven't.
not positive this is coming out.
Is Nate second guessing this move midway down the tower?
more time.
10
His
seconds.
2-0
Is that gonna be
record
his block? It sounds
on
like
the
it may
line.
be.
Yeah.
He's gonna yank. It's working though. It's
Nate
not moving as
committed to
much
that
now.
block.
95% of the way out.
You got time.
It's out. It's out. He only has one space to go on top.
Two bicycles. Split bison with another one.
I've just been warned to not do something. I don't know what I'm not supposed to do, so I'm just not going to do anything. I don't think I'm doing it. I don't think I'm doing what Nate asked me not to do.
Nate creates a full
Clean
slate,
retower.
and we are 36 blocks in, and Jeff, our most popular pick, just knocked out 38% of the field.
And just from down here on the ground, this is a creation. It is a piece of art. The top 4 levels that we're looking at right now, which Glenny's about to defile, but that's fine. It's within the rules. It looks beautiful right now. It is a perfect cube. It is just gorgeous. This is art.
Yeah, and of course the warning track, those 4 blocks, those 3 blocks in row 4 that you can
60
pick.
seconds to pick a block.
They are on top of a double hanger.
One thing people aren't talking about enough, I feel like, is that Glenny has actually taped his hand to his stomach. Let's not lose sight of that.
Yeah, PFT, you will not be doing your job if at the end of this, no matter who wins, you don't get him pulling it off on camera.
I also noticed that there might be some discomfort physically. He was wiggling around like almost when you put a sock on a dog and it's walking down the hall, shaking it out, shaking it out. It might be starting to grate on him a little bit.
Glenny Balls aiming for a Tittleman's crest. On the 4th row, remember, this is the highest you can go. We have 4 full slates right now, full slate, a complete row of 3. Haven't seen a lot of Tillman's crest today, Jeff.
No, not at all, and that partly goes to how things were pulled at the bottom, and he actually loosened a couple blocks above that one, but that pull ends up being great, and it's now an upside down
Wait, do I put
split
the middle or
vice.
the outside? No, the middle.
Go middle, yeah, go middle.
Glenny completes block
Got a base
37, and Jeff, let's pause to see the state of the tower right now. Remember, the record is 44. This one at 37, we've seen a couple of moments where we could have come crashing down, but right now, these 4 players are locked in.
By my count, I see only a handful, 2 or 3 blocks that can still be pulled. I think I'd say 4 or 5 blocks below the top 4 safety rows that can actually be pulled. So we're going to be working from the top very soon if this continues.
The next window in question on the play bar slot, 36 to 38 blocks, 37% of the field, the second most popular pick. The 31 to 35 range already eliminated with 38%. And remember, Brandon to pull the losing block in question 1, that was just picked by 21% of our folks at home, 3,253 of you.
Back home known as Brandon the Bulldozer in Jenga. He loves to attack this thing very brutally, and that's what he's doing. A lot of nudges and
50
pushes.
seconds
He's
now.
very aggressively pacing the parameter, almost like a tiger.
5-0.
He's not Brandon Stander, he's Brandon Wolf.
Now down to 45 seconds.
Brandon has fought the shot clock, or not a shot clock, the pick clock, if
40
you will,
seconds.
in each of his last few turns. Now, that row is glued in.
30
Thought he might
seconds.
have found one. He's going to move right back to the top. And that's glued in as well, Jake. Oh.
20 seconds.
He got a
kidding
Tittleman's
me?
crest in row 4.
Beautiful.
Jeff, another announcer's jinx, if you will. The Tittleman's crest has now come into play the last couple of turns on the top of the tower.
People like seeing him, though. I wouldn't call it a jinx. That's a positive thing.
Right,
He's
right.
jinxed it in a good way for the people.
38 blocks in, and again, Nate has 37%, or excuse me, Big Ev has 37% of our field in his hands. 5,820 of you picked that. A successful turn here, Jeff, would knock out
Crazy how food.
total more than 65% of the field.
It's crazy.
We see so many eliminated early on. Remember, if you're rolling 6, you can win a Barstool gift card, so stick around.
But everyone wants the $500 progressive jackpot. You go 6 for 6
60
today,
seconds to
it's
pick
yours.
that block. 10-4.
Of course, rolls over if nobody wins, but we did see some winners the other
We
day.
had 3 winners in Table Tennis Monday. Last week, on part of a
50
triple
seconds.
rollover, we had one person win $1,500.
Yep.
And remember, because of the holiday, no broadcast Monday. We'll be back at it next Thursday with some more Jenga.
We have a bit of a removal of the tape from Glenny. He's just fixing his hand.
Hair hurts.
That
He's
was
in pain.
partner Big Ev making
30
his
seconds.
Stool Streams debut, facing his toughest turn of his young career here inside the Triple S.
That's one.
No visible signs of
20
nerves,
seconds.
though.
Holy fuck.
Big Ev
That thing came out.
showing big guts, creates another full slate up top, And with that move, he has just knocked out more than 5,000 people.
I'm sorry. Again, if you're defeated, if you're over, stick around.
block are we on right now?
You can still win. But as we near 40, this tower continues to stand somehow, some way. Something about this first match. The first match in every Stool Streams Jenga is always an incredible marathon to watch.
And remember, 2 weeks ago when Brandon and Nate took on Glenny and Smitty, 3 of the 4, of course, involved in this match. Jeff, it was the longest match in Stool Streams history, 1 hour and 15 minutes. Right now, this one closing in on the 1 hour mark.
Nate perplexed, but everyone's been perplexed the last couple first turns. And then they end up pulling anyway.
I know. I just wanted to see if a little taparoo.
Team chemistry issues continue. Brandon visibly frustrated by his teammates' move so far.
He's
fine.
These
He's
far
lying.
more daintier players.
That row's not moving.
I know. I'm just
60
goes as far as
seconds
it
to
does,
pick that
Jake.
block,
Softer.
Nate. Let's work.
doing a little taparoo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that
No,
is
there's nothing you can do up there.
motherfucker.
50 seconds.
There's
now.
only 2 blocks on this
5-0.
board you can pick.
I know. That's one of them right here.
40 seconds now. 40 seconds.
I don't know, Jake.
Wait. This guy can come out?
30 seconds now. 3-0.
More twisting of the tower. 30 seconds to zone in on a block for Nate. But Jeff, the timer not as important now because it is more pressure, but as Nate has some movement, there's only so many blocks you can pick from before that clock expires.
Yeah, exactly. We're moving now to a point where I see
The silent assassin
1,
down here.
2 to 3. There's honestly, there's only below those top
Middle, Nate.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
rows.
make sure.
There's really only about 2 or 3 possible moves below that.
Right.
And there is 1 block in the middle. Maybe in the
That's
second,
not good
third.
enough. You got to get it in the middle.
Spider says not good enough. Remember, you must pick the left, middle, or right column. That one in the middle of both.
That's good enough.
There is a block PFT. I don't know if you can see it. It's about in the
It's
second
lined up.
third. The middle third of the tower that is almost completely moved off.
I've been
You
looking
see
at
that? It's that one hanger. It slid out so much.
I don't know what it's doing out there. It's dangling over the edge like a poorly installed air conditioner halfway up a skyscraper. That could be the focal point of this tower. That's where all the pressure is going to get to. If that one gets touched, look out below. And Glenny, just smooth as you please after experiencing some previous discomfort with his taped hand. I'd like to actually talk to him after this turn and see how that hand's doing.
What a move by Glenny Balls, Jeff. No issues whatsoever. In block 41, he makes it look easy.
One of the easiest block 41s in the history of Jenga. And now, by my count, there are
Slide it this way a little.
maximum 3 more moves below the warning track, below the 4th row of the top tower.
That's block 41. Brandon
Oh.
sees one right away,
Oh,
and it's out.
What were we
we're
gonna
good.
say?
We're good. We're
What were
good.
we
We're
gonna
good.
say,
We're good. We're good. Keep going.
I think he was gonna say something.
Not
That's
like
all.
that errant stoppage of play.
And
Just
Jeff,
doing his job. Just
with
doing his job.
this move by Brandon, he just knocked out another 10%. That means we have 98.55% of people eliminated already. The 42 plus range has just locked it in no matter how this one finishes.
The only stupid people are you and me, Jake, for the first day or last week saying that, oh, we're never really going to see that many 40-block Jenga towers. Look how many times we've seen it now.
We're going to take another brief break. 42 blocks in. PFC commenter is down with Glenny Balls.
Yeah, I'm down here with Glenny Balls, the man of the hour right now. He just had an exceptional pull immediately previous to Brandon Walker's pull, which he would also like some credit for, so credit to Brandon. But Glenny, I noticed you were dealing with some discomfort with your taped up left hand. Can you give us like a status update on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's like that clear duct tape, so it's kind of sticky. It hurts my hair a little bit. My back is a little sweaty from what I felt. So there's a little discomfort. We just had to move around a little bit, make sure we're good.
Okay, yeah.
As long as the tape is still there, though, and I can't get out, we're golden.
Very elegant, very
Yeah.
functional. I like it. And I also like the smooth move. You can also just
Yeah, I can
put
move
that
my
in your
arm
pocket
around.
too if you want.
Yeah, if I really want to. There's some, I can move.
Okay, I like it. All right, back to you up in the booth, Jake.
Thanks so much, PFT. And Jeff, you heard from Glenny Balls. We're 42 blocks in. We have just 228 people remaining. We just hit the 1 hour mark of this match.
Something about this first match, it just hits differently, as the kids say, than the other matches. It always is a more marathon-based match, slower,
60 seconds
methodical,
to pick
which
that
you'll
block,
love to
Evan.
see. It's strategic.
Remember, this is 42, but it is still a few blocks away from our record. That was set on August 19th. In a match that actually included Mr.
50 seconds,
Big
yeah,
Cat
50
versus Liz and
seconds.
Tommy, who we'll see later on. They are 2 blocks away from tying the Stool Streams record and 3 from potentially breaking it.
And here you go. This would mean, if he pulls this, there are only two more possible moves on the Jenga tower below the warning track, which that is the 4th row. That's the first legal row for a pull. There's only 2 more possible moves. There's a row of 3. They can either take the 2 on the edge or the 1 in the middle to create a Tittleman's crest. That is it. They will be working for the most part from the top of the tower, and now the height has come into play.
Yes, the War of 54 is what we call it. Nearly all 54 blocks have come into play today as Nate looks to tie a Stool Streams record with a potential successful move here. 43 blocks in, 44 is the record.
It's sliding out with relative ease, right, PFT?
It's almost like the blocks are getting easier.
Wow.
Jeff, we were in a seminal moment about 15 minutes ago in this match, but I think that what you're seeing right now is these competitors are so dialed in that they're just not going to miss.
Nate has just stepped outside of the square, and stools are legal. We saw it last week. Someone stepped on the High Noon Hard Seltzer Yeti cooler, and Nate now getting creative to try to tie the record.
Now, I'm not saying I am rooting for this, but it'd be very funny if Glenny were to get on top of the stool and then just fall over and not be able to brace his fall with his hand.
You would have to know, while he would lose, it'd be the funniest fucking thing of all time.
There's literally no doubt in my mind that I'm losing. Like, no, Glenn, you're already out of the equation.
Glenn, the confidence is rattled with Glenn right now.
Nate just tied the record of 44, and Glenny Balls can make history right here. A successful move would stand all alone, and he takes it out in record time.
He thought he was going to knock the...
Oh, he got Glenny Balls down.
Two-hand touch.
The unthinkable has just happened inside Stool Stream Stadium.
No way.
Two-hand touch.
Another one coming. There it is.
How did he do it?
He just did what nobody thought was possible.
He taped his
3 layers of tape before the match. But remember, Jeff, that is the first violation.
Clear as day. Clear as day. It's clear as day for some reason.
My fucking fingernail? You guys got some fucking pair.
Nobody thought it was possible.
Glenny
The
does
turn
not
is
think
not
he touched
over.
it. He did.
There was no doubt about it.
I need to see. I need to
Clear
see.
as
Another
day.
look.
I'm crying.
Not there is an angle. There is an angle. He did. I mean, I don't know you, Jake. It seemed clear
It was
as day.
obvious. We have a different angle. But, I mean, here we go.
That's
This
his
is
reaction
a
to
little
it.
bit afterwards. There it is,
And
right
there it
there.
is, 2 hands.
It was obvious. He knows it.
I need to see it again.
We'll
Big
see
F
what time.
doesn't believe
I
it.
think Glenny realizes now.
Right there,
it is.
right there.
He needs to be careful now. He needs to be careful.
Another 2-hand would be a disqualification. Turn's not over.
I did it again, Jake. Unless you didn't say that.
Taped to his body. He still managed.
But there's so much on the line, Jeff. Remember, if Glenny retowers, he will still make history with the 45th block.
Refocus.
Do not miss the fact he
Refocus.
did that after 6 consecutive dabs as well.
I fucking hate you all. I hate you all.
6.
Where's the tape?
Oh my.
Can Glenny put this one behind him?
It's just.
And we have history inside the Triple S. 45 blocks in, a new record for Jenga.
There's just no words down here. No words to describe this. I'm sweating. I'm crying. Every orifice in my body is just exuding sweat and laughter and tears right now. Because this is the best moment in sports history.
I know.
I'll take that one.
Eventually, we'll see it. We have to see it. Now, eventually, when there's a highlight thrown online, you're going to see Glenny's face realizing that he did actually touch. And he was like, shit. It was unbelievable.
Remember, before that penalty comes into play, Brandon must complete his turn. If he does finish, Big Ev, the rookie, would have to touch the first block.
Take the first block.
Take the first block, yes. Tower continues to
The
twist.
top of the tower's
60
been
seconds
loose.
to
It's
pick a
crazy
block.
that
Stay in
Brandon's
the
going
box.
right to the bottom.
I can walk out of the box.
If he takes the middle, that's the last block below the first 4 rows that can be moved. If he takes the edge, that remains 1 more move.
50 seconds.
And that thing is moving left and right, back and forth.
Keeps on twisting. Brandon Walker has defied the odds before in this match. Can he do it one more time?
40 seconds, Brandon. 40 seconds.
We've already set a new record. 45 blocks, the most we've ever gone. Top half
30
continues to
seconds
move.
now. 30 seconds.
Oh, it
What is he
continues.
doing?
Oh, back and forth.
What is
He lets
Brandon
it
doing?
stabilize.
I can't
20
believe it's the one
seconds.
he's pulling right
20
now.
seconds.
Is he going to move? He's going to change course.
He has that full slate.
Oh,
There
And
it goes.
there it goes! It goes for Brandon Walker! And Glenny Balls, indeed, gets his revenge!
Let's go.
And Glenny.
Unbelievable stuff from Glenny, Big Ev, and Brandon and Nate as well. But Glenny gets his redemption. Look at the excitement. He hulked his way out of the tape. The units celebrate. What a win. Ev not just happy he 1-0. He helped Glenny get redemption. The rookie had some of the most unreal pulls we've ever seen in Jenga. Glenny fought through the dumb decision to tape his hand, though maybe it wasn't so dumb after all because he touched it with 2 hands. I can't believe it. That match might be the best we've seen yet, Jake.
Pure elation. And for more, we're going to send it down to PFT comments. We're in the winner's circle with Glenny and Big Ev.
Elation is not a word that I would use to describe this moment right now. I don't think that God nor Webster has created a word nor defined one that can really encapture what we've just seen in the last couple minutes here. Glenny, your hand was taped to the side of your body specifically to prevent a double-handed violation, and yet somehow you managed to commit one. In that moment right afterwards, walk me through what was going through your mind.
Yeah, I mean, it was a scary, scary moment. It kind of fucked up. I know I should probably, for next time, tape my actual hand, not just my wrist. Get that hand wrapped up, like playing with the club, like I'm Clay Matthews or some shit. But nonetheless, I'm happy we won. That was beautiful. Proves karma's real. Karma's real.
Yeah, maybe just cut the hand off next time.
I probably
and
will.
Big Ev, this was your Stool Stadium debut. You're a rookie at Jenga. You seemed to perform admirably out there. Was fatigue an issue given the length of the game? It was, I believe, an hour and 10-minute long Jenga match.
Not at all. I mean, the word rookie was getting thrown around a lot. I was here to make a statement. Glenn needed revenge. I was here to make a move for my guy. I had to come through for him. I said before, Jake asked me before, I respond well when I'm thrown in the fire. Thrown in the fire, here to stay. Absolutely.
Thrown into the crucible, and it merges on a crucifix. Well done. Who do we have next today, Jake?
We've got $20 Chef, a fellow rookie. Big Ev just picked up his first win, and Vibs, who trying to get redemption after pulling a losing block in his last performance, and a couple of other players, a duo actually making their return here inside the Triple S, Rhea and Trent. So we still got a lot more Jenga for you, and an update on the numbers. We mentioned just more than 1% of you picked 42 plus in question 2. That was 45 plus. Excuse me, 45 on the dot, which was a new Stool Streams record. Standalone, 44 was previous, 45 today. So 228 out of more than 15,000 selected that number. And Jeff, before we move on to our second match, let's take a look back at what was an instant classic. 45 blocks, a new record. It started off with Glenny Balls being taped up 4 layers. And then things began to keep going. We saw another burger inside the Triple
Classic
S.
pocket burger from PFT.
Glenny Balls was going to ensure that no matter what, he could never touch with 2 hands with all of that tape, right?
There was only one thing I knew would not happen there, and that'd be Glenny Balls touching the block with 2 hands. But you'll see in a second, anything can happen. In Stool Streams, we saw the Mississippi River dance from Brandon. They had a great timeout, probably the most successful timeout we've ever seen in Stool Streams. Brandon twisted the tower multiple times. Big Ev, the rookie, made some of the better pulls we've seen from anyone, let alone just being a rookie. Brandon put himself and his team in some tough spots, but they were able to pull through each team until we got finally to a moment later on in the match involving Glenny Balls. As you see Brandon there with that twisted tower, making one of the more elite pulls we've ever seen. But Glenny Balls and Big Ev, obviously as the winners, story of the match, Ev the rookie, and then Glenny at one point in the match, even though his hand taped to his body, still touched the block with 2 hands. And defying all forms of logic, Jake. And he put his team in a position, which we haven't seen this yet. He put his team in a position to have to pull the first block they touched, but they never got to that moment. It was so late in the match that Brandon ended up pulling the losing block next. PFT has been laughing for 15 consecutive minutes.
I can't believe it. I can't believe what I just saw.
It's just
it's just amazing. It's a wonderful thing to be a part of.
Big Ev taped him and Spider taped him. They went around his body 3 to 5 times, and he still managed to take his hand and touch the block with another hand. I just don't believe it. I can't believe they won, but I'm happy for him. It's been a tough 14 days for Glenny.
Speechless, and we'll see that match in its entirety on our YouTube page later.